Rai Choudhuri, and I am originally from Bombay. I moved to Goa about 12 years ago, and my expertise comes in business and how to solve business problems. And I've solved some of the problems, some of the biggest brands in the world, right from brands like Coca-Cola to Pizza Hut to Pepsi to Volkswagen, Nike, Unilever, you name it. A lot of very, very big brands across 6 countries. And I settled in Goa about 11 years ago. Now I work, what I'm trying to do is, I'm trying to bring the multinational best practices, what the big companies use, and get them to be adapted to small and growing brands. What happens is that multinational companies, right, they have a lot of best practices, and these best practices are called best practices because they worked for them. But they didn't work overnight. They worked over 100 years, maybe 80 years, 50 years, So my idea is very simple. Since I've always worked in multinationals and worked in some of the biggest brands in the world, what I thought is that why not bring those multinational best practices in marketing, communication, advertising, business structure, all of that, and bring those multinational best practices to small and growing companies, to emerging brands, emerging companies. I won't even say small, I would say emerging, right? Because see, at the end of it, multinational was once an emerging company, and then it became a multinational, and became a multinational because of certain best practices which they followed. And now they're open to all, but unfortunately, there's no one to bring those practices to small brands, so they don't know how to adapt them. So that's about me. What about you, Supriya?
Hi Shane, I'm Supriya. So I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. So I moved to Goa in 2019 due to family.
From where?
From Bangalore.
Bangalore.
So I'm basically I'm Kannadiga.
Okay.
Okay, so I did my schooling everything in Karnataka, but moved to Durgapur to do my engineering bachelor's there in mechanical engineering. After that, I have worked for 15 years in MNCs. I worked for Larsen & Toubro, I worked for G Healthcare, I worked for a SABIC. So all these while
and which is Larsen?
SABIC. It's a polymer manufacturing company. It's from Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia Basic Industry Corporation.
Okay. What American brand?
No, it's a Saudi brand. Hardcore Saudi brand.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it's so they make lots of polymers and they sell to all the big players in the. See, that's one of the top companies.
Aramco.
Yes, Aramco and SABIC, they just did a collab.
They acquired it.
Yeah, they acquired it.
Oh.
Okay, so that's their part of it. Where all these while during that I have worked extensively on product development side. Okay, so we have worked with PET, CT considering, or in the automobile sector when I was in SABIC, worked for all the design of rear bumper beams or front bumper beams. So many of the.
So which kind of brands? What kind of brands?
See, I worked with the Kia, Mahindra, Kingley, and in G Healthcare I worked with the PET, PET CT scans, ultrasound. All this while to improve the product quality, performance. And all these things.
So your mechanical engineering came into play.
Yeah, always. That has been my career in incorporating my engineering skills there. So when I moved to Goa, I did due to lockdown, I did an option of work from home. So I continued. When that was stopped, like we had to go to the offline mode. That's when I moved to let me try to do something on my own with this person. I started exploring what are the things I can do using my skills and things like that. I did few freelancing in between, but in the end, when I went to the beach shacks, I realized that calling somebody in the waiter, it was very challenging. And I was thinking, ek to aaram se koi product rakh sakta hai. They can easily keep something there. Then I thought, why don't I explore it? That's when I started. Are there any products in the market? If not,
products for what?
Products to
call the waiter.
Call the waiter.
What about hello? Excuse me.
In the low ambience rate, it's very tough. And especially you have 10 waiters and when you have to call your waiter. It is not was anything, they said, madam. And sometimes architectural challenges are so much, you cannot see a waiter. They are running around, but you cannot see a waiter. They are always in the hurry.
Like a Tito's or a Mambo's or a Liquor.
Yes. Right. Any small restaurant and low ambience, right? So if you go to, assuming Kinara, where I started my, product trials there are multiple rooms. So sometimes one waiter will be going to take the service, so nobody is there when you want to call them.
What is the product exactly?
So the product is called
this
the waiter.
Is the product.
Yeah, this is the product. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is a waiter calling system.
Can I see it?
Yeah. So these are the systems which you can keep on individual tables.
Okay.
Interesting, right? So if you press,
So it's based on a QR code.
It is based on a keyword. This is for a Google review, but this is a physical product. Actually, this is the product.
Call, pay, cancel.
Cancel. So when you want to call a waiter, you have to pay a call.
And how is it integrated to the waiters?
We indicate it to the waiter. There is a small display system which currently is there. So we are also working
So the
on.
waiter has a display system.
Now, individual waiter can have a display system, or there is a centralized
So manager
display
has it.
systems. Yes, managers, or it is in the common place where whenever they are walking, they can see. Okay. Now this will.
Oh, it's like a huge monitor.
Very small, not
But
huge.
big enough for the
Big enough
manager
for
to see.
maybe around 3-4 meters you can comfortably see. It's not so big enough, but at the moment it's not small enough that you have to be very close to see.
Okay.
Now, these products, why it is going to be useful is because they are always walking around.
Okay, I'm gonna come to one before you start saying that. I'm gonna try to put this into context.
Yes.
I'm just gonna put this into context. The context is why are we having this podcast, and this is completely unrehearsed. I've never met her before.
Okay.
She may know about me, but never spoken about her product in detail. So this is completely unrehearsed, right?
Yes.
You've not spoken about it before. Now, the reason why FiiRE wanted me to do this was that there's a belief that even if you have a damn good product, right, and you have a damn good product, innovative product, different product, right? What about the pitch? When you're pitching this product to someone, right? What about that pitch? Because see, it's not that you can have a damn good product, but if you don't know how to pitch the product correctly to an investor or to an incubator, whoever you're pitching the product to, then that person loses interest, right? If you cannot show the potential of the product, right? If you cannot show the kind of revenue you're projecting for the product, if you cannot show the market share you're planning to capture or what market you're planning to capture convincingly enough, what happens is you lose interest. So what I'm going to now do, you give me your elevator pitch.
So
in short, if it's too long, then it's not a good elevator pitch.
Okay.
It should be really, really short.
So what I'm trying to do is we are trying to develop a solution. So the restaurants and the hotels, they can improve their customer service and provide a good service to the customers who come there, and also to give a faster service basically.
That's your pitch to an investor.
I don't know. Yeah.
See, tell you what you just said now is so general that it can be for any service. The customer satisfaction, giving the customer the best. You have to curate a pitch that is going to be about your product benefits. You didn't explain to me, you explained a generic benefit to me, an overall benefit.
Yeah.
You did not explain to me why this product is going to be successful in the market. Do you want to try again?
Okay. Try again. Okay. So I'm developing a solution where when anybody is going to fine dine and experiences that the services due to the structural of the restaurants, if they are unable to get the better service, and how restaurants can give the better service as the
Your elevator pitch, may I interrupt you?
Yes,
Your
certainly.
elevator pitch needs to start with something very, very simple and innovative. I have created, or we have created, a technology that is going to make the running of the restaurant much smoother by 10x or 20x. That is the pitch.
Okay.
That you have created a technological product, right, which is going to help the running of a restaurant smoother by 20, even quantified, 20x, 100x, whatever. You got my interest. What technology have you created that's going to help? Next step. See, you got to create interest first. You've created interest by what have you done? You said your product is a technology product.
Yes, it is.
You explained where it is going to be utilized.
Yes.
Third, what is the third most important thing that you have to use in a pitch?
Where it is, how is going to benefit the restaurants.
You tell me that now. You tell me that in your own words. How is it going to benefit the restaurants? No, how is it going to benefit the restaurants? A restaurant wants benefit in what way exactly?
So,
what does any business want benefit in?
Either it should for them. Either it should help increasing their revenue.
Exactly. Good.
Or it should reduce their some costs.
Right. So
Okay,
cost
it
cutting,
should make
cost
profit or
cutting,
it should reduce the cost.
cost cutting or revenue generation.
Yes.
Now you tell me your product, how is it going to do either of these?
See, for me, this product is going to help them mostly into the cost reduction.
Okay. In
Okay.
what way?
In what way? What happens in the low ambience light, or when you have a multiple rooms or multiple,
Let's look at a regular restaurant. Let's
regular
look at
restaurants,
one.
yeah, where you have maybe different corners or something.
Let's look at that. You have been to Fatfish?
Fatfish I've not been. I've
But
been
you've been aware of
Yes,
Fatfish.
I'm
It's a
aware
big
of it.
restaurant.
Yeah,
A lot of tourists come there.
Yes.
They've got about 10-15 waiters. Let's take that as an example.
Waiter center. In that, it is widespread.
Hmm.
Right, and even though 10-15 waiters you have, assuming if it is a 10-15 waiters, there will be more than 40 tables.
Right.
Easily. Okay, then only they will keep at least 15 into 3 is what you
Right.
can expect. 45 to 50 tables. Now, in that type of restaurants, waiters are running around, especially in the evening time when all the tables are full. Okay, now if even one waiter misses for them, it is a chaos thing. Any one, because that table is dedicated for certain waiters and that person is not there, so they have to handle this table, that table, and all these aspects. So this technology product, when they are kept, so when they press it, they know that this table needs servicing very faster. So that if some waiter is not attending his table.
Can I stop you here?
Yeah.
What you just said is that you are challenging an existing system. See, your product, by its sheer nature, is challenging an existing system. See, what is the existing system? Exactly what you said. Waiters, they have got a certain system in place.
Yes.
A restaurant doesn't
current
run without a
operations are
system.
already there.
They've got, like I remember in Bombay, there's a restaurant where the waiters communicate in claps.
Yes.
You heard of that?
Yeah, waiter communicating clap
Claps.
as well as
Three
in
claps
Rajdhani,
means
they don't even clap. They have
Rajasthani, exactly. Three claps.
sign.
Fantastic system.
Yes.
Fantastic system. You are challenging an existing system. If you go to the restaurant owner, right, how are you going to convince that restaurant owner and challenge that system and make sure the restaurant owner, how much is the cost of your product?
The cost per it is
per unit is?
Yeah, per unit is 1,000. It starts from 1,000. We are targeting up to 1,000.
And what is the longevity of the product?
Longevity, it's a battery operated
Battery
currently.
operated. So it can be a year also.
Right now it is 6 months, but it is easily replaceable, available.
So 6
batteries.
months. 6 months is a good
And we are
period.
coming with higher cost is the one which is a rechargeable
So
battery.
10 is 10,000 rupees.
Yes.
10 is 10,000.
Yes.
10 waiters is 10,000 rupees.
10, yes.
No, but this is going to be at every table.
Every
so 10
table.
tables
10
is
tables.
10
10 tables. It is not for every waiter.
Yeah, so per table.
Per table.
Per
Yes.
table, 1,000 rupees investment that guy has to
Guy
make.
has to make.
That's what you're going to do.
Yes.
Okay, so now let's come back to what I was saying. Challenging an existing system,
Yes.
right? What is the one thing that is going to make that restaurant owner want to? It is not going to be so much of the functionality of the product. Over here, this is not a functionality because he believes his restaurant or she believes restaurant is running fine. I have no problem. I don't need something from external telling me that I need this
Yes.
because I don't need it. Why do you think that person is going to go for it? You tell me.
Okay, so when I do a restaurant, since I'm not,
Forget about rational.
yes, I'm not going to all restaurants. I'm not want to put a product because if it is a 10 table and visually available to everybody, that restaurants feel it doesn't add a value to them because existing system works very well for them. I cannot target those type. My targets are the one where there are some tables which are in the corner. Okay, and suppose if they want to attend, always there should be one waiter standing. That means his salary every time it has to be there.
Again, I'm going to stop you. Okay?
Yeah.
You have given me a rational reason. I'm not looking for a rational reason. If you try to convince someone who's been in the industry for 30 years or 20 years running a restaurant in Goa, and you tell them these kind of things, they're not going to believe you. They're going to say, my system is fine, don't worry about it. One waiter here and there, you don't know. Because see, the first question which will come to you, what do you think the first question they're going to ask you before you even start your product? What is your experience in F&B? That's the first question they're going to ask you. How many years do you have in F&B?
Yes.
Do you know our business? Right? That's the first question they're going to ask you. Your product is not about that. Do you remember there was a lifestyle which had come about in restaurants? I don't know in India when I was abroad.
Yeah.
The tabs.
Yeah.
Right? You remember the tabs? Right?
Yes.
Right? Every table had a tab. Right? And with a tablet, you could order, you could do everything.
Yes.
And that information was directly conveyed to the restaurant owner and the manager
Yes.
through the tablet. So waiters did not even have to go to take the order. Everything was pre-ordered on that tablet.
Yes.
And that tech, right, was sold on just one thing. You know what that is? Novelty. novelty. What is it that the customer who sits in that restaurant is going to pick up when they pick up this small device? They're going to enjoy it. I press call, waiter came.
Yeah.
I press cancel and order got cancelled.
Yeah.
Your entire product, from a marketing point of view, if you have to market it, needs not to be on rational benefits, emotional benefits for the restaurant. The pride of his restaurant, that his restaurant or her restaurant is so high tech that I'm using a device like this on every table. And just show it to me.
Yeah.
See, if you see the device, it looks pretty cool,
Yeah.
Imagine a customer, you have to use your imagination when you're marketing a product. Imagine the whole scenario. A customer sitting at a table, waiter not coming, he presses this button, call, waiter comes immediately. Two people talking, I want to cancel my order.
Yeah.
I want to get out of here. Cancel, tap, one button. Click of a button, you are a customer, from a customer's point of view, click of a button, he is managing to operate the entire restaurant. The entire restaurant is under his control with just this one device. That's what marketing does. Marketing is about how do you capture your sales pitch. I hope you'll now curate it according to what I'm saying. Your sales pitch, your elevator pitch needs to be around imagination. Imagine the real world, your product fitting into the real world, and how is it going to make that restaurant owner say, "Arey, ye to meko chahiye. We want this product. I definitely want this product."
Yeah.
You understand? And that is not going to be around rationality. If you give him logic, that waiter cut this, you will increase your revenue. He'll say, okay, fine. I've been running my restaurant for 15 years, 10 years. Don't tell me all this. But the moment you start romanticizing your product and telling him how the customer is going to feel when he walks into his restaurant, first he'll ask, ask the waiter, "Ye kya hai? What is this?" Delhi ka koi aaya. Someone comes from Delhi, right? Go to factory, wherever, whichever restaurant, right? What is this? Waiter says, "Sir, ये तो सिंपल है. आप ये प्रेस करेगा, मैं आ जाएगा. आप ये प्रेस करेगा, आपका ऑर्डर आ जाएगा. ये प्रेस करेगा तो मैं आपका बिल लेके आएगा. बस इतना है. अरे कौन है? Start talking about it. To whom? Who will you talk to?
He'll refer the restaurants or other.
No, not the restaurant. He'll talk to his family. Who's sitting at the table? And look at this. Cool order. What will he do next? Selfie was social media. Immediately you get your content. You have to explain this. And what happens when they shoot your device or they talk about your device. 15 seconds on Insta or something. Someone says, I'm here in Goa right now. I found this damn cool device. This restaurant actually has this, and it names the restaurant. Imagine for the restaurant how much of free content that is. Free marketing. These are the things you have to insert into your elevator pitch. Make it so simple and so real and so relatable that the person you are selling it to, it makes sense to. That is known as an insight. An insight, a product insight into the environment or the business insight. You get my point?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now I'll give you 2 minutes. You think about your elevator pitch. You think about your elevator pitch and you give it to me, keeping all this in mind. So we are back, and Supriya, I've given you some time to think about your elevator pitch, keeping in mind what we discussed.
Yeah.
Now I am not expecting the perfect elevator pitch, but I am expecting something close to what we've spoken about.
Yeah.
So please, the stage is yours.
Okay. So, let me start. So now we have developed a cool technology-based solution for restaurants. Now, restaurants owners.
Hold on. You are not you're not an advertisement. You're making a serious business pitch. You don't have to act.
Okay.
You have to understand, internalize. You understood what I said.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you got something in mind now. You took your time and you just smiled in your face when I came back in.
Yeah.
So you got something.
Yes.
You tell me all your words here.
Okay, so this is a cool technology which we are bringing to the restaurants, which will help them to increase their revenue. Also, will help them improving the customer service. Now, for the patrons, now they no more have to make sound or clap or wave their hands. Now, waiter is just a button away. So that's a pitch.
See, I'll tell you what, if you do a pitch like that, seriously speaking, if you do a pitch like that, you're not going to be able to sell it. to the
Yeah.
person, right? Now you see, you're looking at people to invest in your product also, right? And you're looking for restaurant owners to buy a product. I told you something which you've not put into your pitch, which was the novelty factor. Why would the restaurant person be interested in your product? So if I were to pitch this product, what I would say to them is, I would say just imagine. I would start with the words just imagine.
Okay.
Just imagine your customer sitting at a table and he's looking for a waiter and he can't seem to find the waiter because your restaurant is a very popular and famous restaurant. You've given him a bit of a, right? You've told him yours is a very popular and famous restaurant. Now, what if you had some way that the waiter's attention was caught immediately with something really, really cool? And guess what? It's a gadget. I'm actually using technology in your restaurant on all your tables, where by the click of a button, the waiter will appear for the customer. Don't you think that's going to? You've heard of CX levels? You know what CX levels mean? Customer experience levels.
Experience, yeah.
You will raise the CX levels of the restaurant.
Okay.
Means the customer experience becomes that much more enhanced. And when customer, you said I will raise revenue, he will ask you how. The how is when the CX levels become higher, the experience becomes higher, more and more people want to come to the restaurant. Because it's a novelty product. They want to try this out. Ye kaisa hua? Kya hua? You get it? This is your elevator pitch. In your own words, of course.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? You said improve service, all the facts you've given, all the rational reason. I told you he's not going to buy it for a rational reason. He's going to buy it for an emotional reason. The cost for him is not high. If he's got 20 table, 20,000 bucks for 6 months, he clears off within 3 days.
Yeah,
it's done. If it's a 20 table restaurant, within 3 days he's finished. The cost is done. It's already covered, right? It's not a high cost product for him. What is going to make him buy is novelty. I told you, imagine, use your imagination. So I'll simplify this at the end of this. Now you got to go and think about it, right? I can put the elevator pitch down for you and give it to you straight away, but I want you to put in some effort. And we will get back to you, and you can tell me later on whenever you feel like. You can tell me what your elevator pitch is.
Yeah.
You have the whole day. I'm here for some time, so you can tell me. But I want you to construct your elevator pitch using all this in mind. But do not try to voice modulate or speak in a certain way. Nothing. What impresses an investor, what impresses the person who will purchase your product is your sincerity and the belief you have in your product. And why do you believe this product is going to be a successful product? He's going to pick up on that, or she's going to pick up on that. They're not going to pick up on how you speak, right? It's not how you speak, it's the content. What are you saying to them? I'll end with one last thing. It's not what you say, it's how you say it. Make sense?
Yeah.
Does this help?
Yes, it helps a lot. It's good because I come from a technology, right? So we think lots of technology, and when I want to run a business, I know it's not just making a product. It's about how we are going to sell it.
Exactly.
Right? Because I can make the coolest, as you said, right? Yeah, I make the coolest technology, I understand how to build it, what to build it, all this. But when it comes to the selling point, we need a different elements which we need to incorporate. How we are going to pitch them, what will make them, buy. Certain restaurants, they are clearly, and another thing what I learned over my interactions with the restaurants, I've spoken to many restaurants regarding to understand what they really challenge and which restaurants. Can I go to every restaurant and pitch in? Or what is the things? So there I learned most of the things is that they want to understand. I should talk in their terms, like I should understand their whole operations, how it works, how it is gonna, when I'm talking when I go to individual. And next boils down is the price. Exactly. I initially when I started, it's like, is it too high? Is it too low? You are still skeptical on where you should, your product costing you should put in.
I tell you what, marketing has got 7 P's. There are 7 P's in marketing, right?
Yeah.
Starting from product, price is the second one. Place is the third one. That is, place means for you is restaurants.
Yeah.
For a shampoo, it will be a supermarket or e-commerce, Amazon.
Yeah.
Place is also the advertising, whether it's a newspaper, whether it's social media.
Yeah.
That's also a place. Promotion is advertising, which you call content these days, but actually advertising. Right? Then there are 3 more P's which have been recently added. Process. which is the process it takes, because people want this fast. For example, if you get $100, how quickly can you deliver it?
Yep.
That's process. Then there is people, where CX levels come. That's important for you. For you, and the last piece is physical evidence, which is a new thing which came during the online digital era. Where your companies which have been created which didn't have an office at all. They were just running out of nowhere. So physical evidence became a new thing. So it became 7 P's instead of 4 P's. For you, 2 are most important. Like you said, pricing is important. And the second thing which is important is people. You have to make your pitch about the CX level of the customer that he's going to. You try this out. You see how it works with the people you're pitching it to. You don't need to understand their operations. You can be honest enough and tell them that I don't know so much about your operations. But I know one thing, as a customer what I feel. The moment you come and you put on that as a customer what I feel hat, when I go to a restaurant, he starts relating to you because you become a customer then. You're selling a product, yes, but you become a customer. And you talk, your essence of your product is very simple from a marketing strategy point of view, from a communication, however you develop your communication marketing strategy and communication strategy is your product is about improving the CX levels of customers in restaurants, which means the customer experience. Your product is improving the customer experience and raising the customer experience level, which in turn leads to more customers coming to that restaurant, which in turn leads to greater revenue. And you're doing it in a highly innovative way in the form of a simple gadget. That which makes sense to you?
Yeah, it does.
So that's my view.
And one more thing, we are discussing this. One more interesting observation, because when I started this journey, it happened, I had my own mind, this is what I want, because this actually problem. Experience is a personal experience. So I thought probably what I want to have on the table, I started building that. Thinking in that direction. Then I realized that when I really started trying out in the market understanding, I was going way too high than what is actually the market needs, what the simplicity or the functionality, what requirement.
You got 3 buttons now instead of.
Instead of 4 buttons, typically 3, 4 buttons, many buttons, and the simplicity, because when you want to bring, it should boils down to the cost. If I provide a tablets are available, but it's too expensive to maintain, too expensive to do, where they have a subscription charge, many, where the cost is not so high. How do you build it? The cost is not so high for them. At the same time, with value addition to them.
That is what is known as identifying your market. You need to identify your market. If you think your market is each and every restaurant in Goa, it's not.
No, it's not.
You need to identify your market. How will you identify your market? In order to identify your market, you need to understand how many tables do they have. What is the potential revenue of that restaurant, right? And what would they be willing to invest?
Yes.
You need to do your research first on that.
Yes.
First, you need to identify your market. Identify your market, then position your product in the market. Once you position your product in the market, then go to sell your product. You got to do all of this. See, I'll tell you what, business owners, the people with ideas who come up with and build products, actually, right? Now, that is their forte. You're a mechanical engineer. I know nothing about mechanical engineering. I would never be able to build this, right? But you're an expert at that. Similarly, the big companies, when I started this, I said multinational best practices, right? The bigger companies have used, like what I told you right now, this entire conversation is all multinational best practices. But only thing is now, because I've been in this industry for 30 years, I can tell you so easily, which is an expertise. You ask one question, I created a product, but I don't know how to now pitch it. Your pitch was not convincing to me, Not in the wrong way, but it was not. It was not something that, and we've developed a lot more than what you got a stronger pitch to pitch, right? Thing is, there are various expertise in various parts of a company's growth. Marketing is one of them. Finance is one of them. Production is one of them, because you're a manufacturing company, right? Sourcing is one of them. Sourcing is raw material when you get plastics and all of that, right? Which you got good expertise in, right? But you must understand that this entire session is about marketing, advertising, and communication, right? Improving your elevator pitch, helping you market the product, making you understand what marketing means, right? So there are certain experts in each of these. You understand what expertise is. You're an expert in your field, but you may not be an expert in marketing. You understand? So that is why we are trying to do this at FiiRE. So that people benefit from, useful. Because this is not your forte. Nothing wrong with it.
It's all about, because everybody has their own strength. And other things is being a founder or being this, I need to inculcate and I need to improve on that.
Absolutely.
We have to develop it. It is not because if somebody is good in marketing, they may not be good in a product development. So you need to work around balancing each other and how you can
Absolutely.
take others.
You just need to understand one thing as a business owner, as a founder, that see, in a large business also, there are lots of departments.
Yeah, you have.
There are lots of, eventually you're going to become a large business.
Yeah.
There are a lot of departments in a large business, right?
Yes.
There are different kinds of departments, different kind of partners.
Yep.
Like a marketing department in a company may not be the advertising department. They may have to get an advertising agency where they work with.
Yeah.
The advertising agency maybe have to get content people. So I'm saying it's a quite an
because
ecosystem.
I work also with a few MNCs. I know how many
You
departments,
know how many departments
how
there
the
are.
operation,
Exactly.
and that's when I know where I learned most of them is how a process is so important in any
Process.
because if I don't have a process in anything, even in marketing or in any things, if I don't develop a process, it is gonna go chaos everywhere.
Exactly. So I'm glad you understand that.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you understand that, because that is what the fundamentals is. If you have understanding of that and you say as a business owner, I understand that I have certain strengths. My strength is product development, which is your strength. That's what you've been doing all your career, right?
Yeah.
My strength is marketing, advertising, these finance also, maybe not my strengths, right? So if you've understood that, then you have a vision as a business owner. That means you have a visionary outlook about your business. That you've seen 10 years in the future. You've seen 10 years in the future, and you've seen in the next 10 years what am I going to achieve? And where is my product going to go?
Yeah.
And how many new SKUs am I going to add?
Yeah.
Are you going to add sound to this, for example?
Yeah, there are multiple
so
stages which
exactly.
is
So you
already
need to
there
have
in
a big vision.
Yeah.
And when you have that vision as a business owner, and you understand that I have to have a company which has got all these different people, teams put together,
Yeah.
that's when you grow as a business, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Pleasure,
Yes.
Supriya.
Thanks, Shane.
Okay.